No one wants to date me, mister, she said on a blind date. Then the single dad's reaction changed. Some moments change a life forever, even when they begin in the most ordinary places. A quiet restaurant. Two strangers sitting across from each other. And a single sentence that carried years of pain. When she said, "No one wants to date me, mister," she expected pity, or worse, silence. What she didn't expect was the reaction that would quietly rewrite both of their futures. Before we begin, take a moment to support the channel, Heartfelt Moments. If stories about kindness, second chances, and human connection touch your heart, please subscribe, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support helps these stories reach more people who need them. The restaurant wasn't fancy. Just a cozy family diner on the edge of town, with warm lights and the smell of fresh coffee hanging in the air. Mark arrived 10 minutes early, like he always did. He straightened his jacket, checked his phone, and glanced toward the door. Blind dates made him nervous. Not because he disliked meeting new people, but because life had taught him to be careful. As a single dad, everything he did revolved around his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Since his wife passed away 3 years ago, dating felt like stepping into unknown territory. Then he saw her. Emily walked in slowly, her shoulders slightly hunched, as if she was trying not to take up space. She wore a simple blue dress and flat shoes. Her hair was neatly tied back, but her eyes carried a tired sadness that couldn't be hidden. They recognized each other immediately from the photos and exchanged polite smiles. "Hi, I'm Mark," he said, standing up. "Emily," she replied softly. They sat down, ordered coffee, and began the familiar dance of small talk. Work. Traffic. The weather. Mark talked about Lily, and Emily listened closely, smiling when he described his daughter's love for drawing and animals. "You're a good dad," Emily said quietly. He nodded. "I try." There was a pause. Not awkward, just heavy. Emily stared into her coffee cup, tracing the rim with her finger. Her hands trembled slightly. Mark noticed but didn't interrupt. Finally, she took a deep breath. "I should probably say this now," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "No one wants to date me, mister." The words hung between them like fragile glass. Mark didn't speak right away. He could see her bracing herself, waiting for rejection, for discomfort, for the polite excuse that would end the evening early. Emily rushed on, afraid of the silence. "I've been on a lot of blind dates," she said. "Once people really get to know me, they leave. I'm not exciting. I'm not confident. I don't come with some perfect story." Her eyes glistened, but she forced a small smile. "I figured I should just be honest." Mark leaned back slightly, studying her face. Not with judgment. With understanding. "You know," he said gently, "after my wife died, I thought no one would want to date me either." Emily looked up, surprised. "I wasn't just grieving," he continued. "I was exhausted. Broken. A dad with a kid and a heart full of fear. People don't sign up for that easily." She swallowed. "So what did you do?" "I stopped trying to impress anyone," Mark said. "I just tried to be kind. To myself first. Then to others." Emily's shoulders relaxed a little. "I'm not here because I expect anything from you," Mark added. "I'm here because you showed up. And that takes courage." Tears slipped down Emily's cheeks. She wiped them quickly, embarrassed. "I'm sorry," she said. "I didn't mean to." "Don't apologize," Mark said firmly, but kindly. "Thank you for trusting me with something real." The rest of the evening changed after that. They laughed more. Emily talked about her job at the local library, how she loved helping kids find books they could escape into. Mark shared stories about Lily's endless questions and how bedtime was always their favorite part of the day. There was no pressure. No pretending. When the check came, Emily reached for her purse. Mark smiled. "I've got it." She hesitated. Are you sure? Yes, he said. And not because this was a date that needs to go somewhere. Just because tonight mattered. Outside, the air was cool and calm. They stood by their cars, unsure how to end the evening. I didn't expect this, Emily said. Most people don't listen. Mark nodded. Kindness isn't complicated. It just takes presence. They exchanged numbers, not with promises, but with hope. A week later, Mark invited Emily to a park where Lily loved to draw. Emily brought coloring books from the library. She sat on the grass with Lily, laughing as they compared drawings. Watching them together, Mark felt something shift inside him. Not excitement. Peace. Over the next few months, they spent time together slowly. Coffee. Walks. Simple dinners. Emily never tried to replace Lily's mother. She simply showed up with patience and care. One night, Emily confessed something else. I've spent my whole life thinking I wasn't enough, she said. But with you, I don't feel invisible. Mark reached for her hand. You were never invisible, he said. The world just didn't slow down enough to see you. Years later, Emily would tell friends that the moment her life changed wasn't when someone fell in love with her. It was when someone listened. Kindness didn't fix everything overnight. But it opened a door. And through that door walked healing, connection, and a family built on understanding instead of perfection. Sometimes, kindness doesn't look like grand gestures or dramatic rescues. Sometimes, it's a man sitting across a table, hearing pain without trying to erase it. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything. If this story touched your heart, remember this: you never know how much your kindness means to someone who feels unseen. A moment of compassion can become a lifetime of hope. Go out today and be that moment for someone else.